Games like these is why I love the EuroBasket. We can predict anything we want. We can put the brackets before the tournament. We can imagine what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it gets all turned on its head. And we have a mess in Group D.
Would you agree that this was the biggest upset of the EuroBasket so far?
For sure, the biggest one. We had some upsets, not to this magnitude. I feel like none of the big teams, none of the number one
so highly ranked teams.
Exactly, yeah.
Georgia, Spain was unexpected, really. But come on, we put France top 4 in our power rankings.
Our other two co-hosts put them top 3. I put them top 4.
And they said that they belong to the same tier with Serbia and Germany, which I think was not fair. But I think this game proved that this French team is vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. And slightly overrated, perhaps. But also what it proved is that Israel is not, for no reason, in our top 10 or top 11, at least in the power rankings before the tournament, because I saw the potential of them being the dark horse of the tournament, and they just proved with this game. With the game against Poland, of course, unfortunate that Jordan Lloyd and his heroics stole that game. But
that guy is different. FIBA Lloyd is different.
But now they beat the group favorites, France, and they really mix everything up with their, first of all, incredible defense. We got to admit that this was the key to the victory. French couldn't really create any shots. They were turning the ball over a lot. And on the other side, Israel was running on transition. They were making shots off the pull-up threes. They were looking for mismatches. Very nice basketball. And their leader in Deni Avdija actually stepped up really well in third game in a row to now also started making threes, which he was struggling with in the last game. In the last 2 games, only 3 of 15 before. Now he sinks 3 of 4, gets 8 rebounds, 5 steals, 23 points total. Incredible game from him. I really like this Israel. I think they're a dangerous team.
Man, elite defense. They allowed Iceland to score 71 points. Poland scored 66. France only 69. And I kind of skipped that one, but Israel was one of the best defensive teams in the preparation stage as well, allowing only 74 points per game. And the way they stopped France was something amazing. Played some kind of a zone. They were sending few guys on the ball. They were forcing those 3-point shots. At some point, French team looked like and miserable, also not confident. They were shocked. They didn't know what to do. They tried to be faster, but it didn't work out as well. And they couldn't figure out how to score in the last 3 quarters, because in the first one, they were 10 of 18. Mm-hmm. And in the last 3 quarters, they scored only... I lost the number. 16 of 53. That's 30% of shooting. Yeah, from the field. Yeah. And you had performances like Cisco, who scored 32 in the game against Slovenia. Now he scored 2 points. And they couldn't kind of find a leader to
exactly what I
carry
wanted
the
to
team
say.
in the clutch moments.
This is the highlight of this game. What's the biggest problem with France is that they don't have a clear hierarchy offensively. We all know their defensive potential. That's probably the reason why they're ranked so high. But now when they're facing a team that actually has great defense that stops them at the first options, and they're trying to look for something to create something, there's not a clear idea who's the guy that's going to take the ball and do this thing. They have a lot of potential guys. They got Elio Kobo, who can score one-on-one. We've seen him do that all the time in the EuroLeague with Monaco. Sylvain Francisco, last game, 32 points. Tried to do the same thing. His problem is consistency. He can't really provide those 30-point games every single night.
At elite level on a winning team.
Nadir Hifi, completely different role in Paris basketball. He has all the freedom there. With TJ Shorts, they had the system. Everyone knows what they're doing. Here, not so much room for improvisation. Everyone probably thinks, okay, I could take this shot, but there's this other talented guy. He's a bit more open. So what happens is that guys like Rissa Scher steps up in this game. Horde had one of the best performances in that team, but there's no guy who's the clear leader. And then you can look at the veterans like Yabusele. He's a role player in his whole career. He's been a great role player. He can have a flash of greatness, like Team USA final last year. but he's not going to be your
I wouldn't
reliable
call him
guy.
a role player, maybe a glue guy, or let's say the third option
He's a,
on your team. You need
he's a
stars around
starter,
him.
but what I mean is he's not your
Go-to guy.
yeah, exactly. So I think that's what they're lacking the most, and that's their biggest problem.
And I thought that depth will be their strength, and they kind of distributed minutes pretty smart. Like Cisco played 26 against Slovenia, and it was a team high. When you look on Israel, Avdia played 38 against Poland, Madar 31, Genat 32. But somehow this team that used the six-man rotation and back-to-back nights on the first night, they were more fresh. They were very energetic. Their defense was super active hands, like great rotations defensively. It was, as you mentioned, I don't know, a perfect team effort on both ends.
Yeah, and let's say now we had some negatives on Team France. Once again, congratulations Israel with the win. You shook things up in this group and shook them up in a big way because
now the EuroBasket stars. Now the EuroBasket stars. As soon as the bracket is, I don't want to curse. As soon as the bracket is not mixed up, I mean that's when the real tournament starts.
Yeah, because right now, okay, the situation is like this. Israel is 2-1, France is 2-1, Slovenia is 1-2, Poland is 2-0 at the moment. We're still waiting for that game against Iceland tonight, but let's be honest, very likely Poland takes the win there and are 3-0. Which means that Israel, France, and Poland are battling for that first seed in the last two games of this group. So Israel will play Belgium and Slovenia. In my eyes, two games that Israel can definitely take.
Slovenia going to be a hard one?
Slovenia will be the harder one of the two.
It actually will decide if Slovenia lose that one. It means that Slovenia probably plays Greece in the 8 finals.
Yeah, if they
which is
finish
another
fourth,
layer
for sure.
of the intrigue that this whole thing changed up.
Then France, on the other hand, they have Poland left and Iceland, which means that the Tuesday game against Poland is becoming the most important game of this group because it either directly makes Poland the first seed because they would have only a win against Belgium left in their schedule. If they win that game, then they're 5-0. If they lose that game, 4-1. But I think they would still finish as the top seed. But if they lose against France, let's say, Poland, they would still be able to have that win against Iceland tonight. And then against Belgium means 4-1. Let's say Israel wins both games, Belgium and Slovenia, they're 4-1, and France is 4-1. Then it comes down to the point differential. And today even we had a situation where I was like, what are these guys doing?
Come on, guys.
Play for
Be
the
serious.
point differential. You never know what's going to
This
happen.
point differential actually could lead Israel to the
decisive.
first place of the group. And, you know, that's why it do not shake hands, even if it's Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
No, say, Luka, go away, I'm going to score. I mean, point differential matters.
Yeah.
Until the final whistle, no bullshit. Just focus on scoring because that might decide the first, the second, and the third seed, and that will decide the whole EuroBasket bracket.
Exactly, because then quarterfinals, okay, with quarterfinals, we know that the D group teams are going to play C group teams, which means that, let's say, if Poland finishes first, they're playing C4, which is maybe Georgia, whatever. That's not the biggest thing about the 8 finals. We're talking about quarterfinals. Yes, I was going to say, in the quarterfinals, that means that if France finishes below first, they're thrown into a quarterfinal with Germany or Serbia. If those teams finish first.
In case Serbia wins against Turkey.
Yeah. So it could be Turkey if Turkey wins against Serbia. But point being that in a quarterfinal, we would have France playing one of those two teams that we put in the top 3, which shakes everything up. And then we would have, let's say Poland with D1 have a chance to play potentially Turkey, potentially Serbia. We don't know. But
Lithuania, Finland.
Yeah, B3 could be Lithuania or Finland. So there's a chance that, we would see a repeat of 2022 where out of nowhere, sort of, Poland just went to the semifinals. So it's crazy. It's crazy how one game can change everything and how it raises the importance of the next few games that we'll see.
Wouldn't expect this game to be content material.
Definitely
so
not.
If you don't want to miss the biggest events of the EuroBasket, if you want to catch up with all the hottest topics of the EuroBasket, make sure to press this notification bell right?
Yeah,
To
make
mark
sure
that
it's
bell.
on all notifications, not just personalized.
Yeah, because we put like 3-4 clips per day on the hottest events of the day. Make sure to follow our Instagram channel. That's one. Subscribe our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. And BasketNews.com, the best site
That's a
to
must.
follow all the news, EuroBasket 2025 related.